our next panel, we will explore how corporations and startups can effectively collaborate to drive and scale their climate initiatives. This conversation is going to be led and moderated by Alex Santana from AWS. Alex is, well, a lot of people in the ecosystem know him well. He's a startup and venture capital manager at AWS North Latam and a magician of the ecosystem. He's one of the key organizers of the Mexico Tech Week, and formerly he was part of SeedStars, NXTP Labs, at Techstars, and at the IDB, plus have been a 3x time founder. So without further delay, please, Alex and panelists, come to the stage and so that we can have a very good conversation.
Okay, good morning all. How are you? Nice. Kicking up the coffee? Still not. Awesome. Well, first, thank you so much for this amazing group of panelists that we have here. Decision makers in outstanding organizations, and today I'm humbled to be part of this conversation in which we are going to have some guidelines in regards of talking and discussing about partnering for the planet, which is essentially how corporations and like big initiatives can work together with entrepreneurs, startups, with the sole focus of tackling down climate, global warming, and support sustainability from a global perspective. So I would like to ask, because I'm not going to be good at it, to do a quick presentation from all of you here. And as we were discussing, just to make this more conversational, if you could please share with us and the audience a fun fact. Okay? So let's start with you, Valeria.
Okay, thank you. So hello, everyone. Good morning. First, I want to thank Dallas Capital and everybody involved in organizing this event for the invitation. I'm truly honored to be here at the Climate Innovation Summit and to share the stage with such a distinguished panelist and moderator. This is a fantastic opportunity to talk about how we can tackle together the most pressing challenge of our time, climate change. My name is Valeria Cantu, and I'm the Vice President of Sustainable Finance for Mexico and Latin America at HSBC. In my role, I lead the Latin America Sustainable Finance Forum, ensuring its efficient operations, and also I'm in charge of the structuring, and I support the structuring, the origination, and also the execution of sustainable finance transactions. My main focus is to enhance the sustainable finance portfolio at HSBC and also to support our efforts on, to align our efforts on net zero commitments. So a fun fact about me is that I love Mexican handcrafts. In the past, I founded a business to support artisans and to create home decor by combining the Mexican artisanal heritage and contemporary design. So, thank you.
Now we know what to give you as a present.
Well, I didn't bring any, but yeah.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning. It's a real pleasure to stay here today. An honor to share this panel with such a distinguished panelist. I'm Gemma Sacristan. I'm a partner, and I lead the Sustainability and Climate Change area of Deloitte in the Industry and Clients Division. Basically, I've been my whole life, I've been a banker. I worked for 30 years in different banks in London, in New York, in Washington, in commercial, investment, and multilateral bank. And after 30 years, I decided to change my career, and I became a partner. So since May, I'm a partner in Deloitte. So when I decided to leave the IDB group, I wanted to take a break for a year, and I decided to go worldwide, working for basically supporting social entrepreneurs. and I was in different countries, the first one in Cambodia, later on in Mexico, and I didn't finish because someone convinced me to join Deloitte. So I have, the funny fact is that I still have 2 or 3 countries to go to complete my all around the world journey for a year.
Awesome. What a great way to have this between jobs moment, right? Awesome.
Yeah.
Moving to you, Grace.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Grace. I'm the Director of Sustainability Strategy at Santander, Mexico. A not so fun fact is that I haven't been able to have coffee this morning, so I'll try to be as energized as I can, considering. And I've been at Santander for 7 years. I'm really glad to have been invited to this panel and to be here with these amazing women. I was talking to Gemma before about this is a girl power panel, and just,
yes,
yeah, exactly. And I also, most women here also in the entrepreneurship quorum that we have. And thank you.
Outstanding. Yeah, for this kind of conversations, we definitely must have a strong effort in regards of involving all stakeholders, and that means diversity, inclusion, and having this kind of opportunities. It's just great. So a reflection of this panel. So thank you, the organizers, for making this happen. Monica?
And well, last but not least, I'm Monica Campos. I'm the Head of Disruptive Innovation and Digital in Nestlé Mexico. But very excited to be here and to talk with you. I would love to get to know you after the panel, so please come by and say hello. But a fun fact that it's not work related is that I really love animals. So I have 5 dogs and I have 18 chickens. So I will add that to that list. I don't know which animal I will add it, but I really love animals, so I wanted just to make you laugh. But it's real.
Wow, that's a really interesting fact indeed. Well, as for me, Alex Santana, yes, definitely madly in love with startups and how we can collaborate all together to make this a better world. So this is a truly pleasure for me just to have the opportunity to show you how outstanding organizations, multi-corporations around the world are tackling down this. And fun fact about me, I love science fiction, so if you want to have like a deep level geek conversation about science fiction, mostly futuristic, I am the guy. So yeah, let's get started. Gemma, you have an outstanding perspective since your times as a banker, supporting and investing in the region. So I would like to ask you about the challenges and the frameworks that you recommend us and the audience in order to work corporates and startups.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. First of all, let me talk a little bit about my experience from my previous jobs. No? Basically, we always faced the same challenge, which is how we supported startups in their scale-up journey, especially after the B round. That was always the challenge. But in any case, we've always found some opportunities to support the startups, especially in some agendas that were related to sustainability. A lot of momentum in green tech, clean tech in general, and technology related to sustainability, and around gender and inclusion. In those 2 areas, it was easier, to support them through capital investments. And always a challenge to connect startups with companies. It has been always a challenge. On one hand, the startups needs capital. On the other, some companies wanted to know about new technologies and how they could really rely on new technologies on their sustainability journey, especially on the decarbonization journey. Now, from this part, as a consultant, we work with companies and banks, but especially with companies through different sectors. I mean, from mining to energy, through agribusiness and so on. And very often, when we work with them, they ask us about some recommendations around which are the best technologies, how can we work together, and basically the opportunity and the challenge relates about the how, not about what, which more or less people knows how to do it. It's about how we engage with the startups. We always recommend them some of the ones we know, and Alus Capital have a great study about the main technologies in this area. But working on the how, we have seen different opportunities. The one that our clients prefer the most is working on open innovation challenges. But sometimes we really see that after they finish the challenge and they give them some kind of prizes, it's always the same. Is the challenge on how they incorporate the company or the startups into the company process and procedures, basically, and how they create value together. So open innovation challenges is a great opportunity. The main challenge is, okay, how we can later on bring those companies to our company to find solutions for the challenges they are facing. And there we have seen some trends, especially working together not on a certain company, under the company challenges, but also working on an industrial level. And later on, you have different ways to incorporate those startups into the companies. But as of today, our clients, they are really interested in having their own challenges, and this is more in the corporates. We have seen a lot of banks in the region. Here we have two examples that are really engaging with these startups through challenges, and sometimes they also invest and create their own funds, like for example BBVA. So this is basically what I have seen both in my previous experience and now in my current experience in Deloitte. Thank you.
Awesome. I would like to continue with this important topic that you addressed, which is open innovation as a catalyst, not just only for startup and corporate collaboration, but also for tackling down climate change. And I would like to ask Monica, could you please tell us about what are the things that Nestlé has done around that, and what are the perspectives from your side, especially from the food and agri-tech industry, which is one of the most important in order to start addressing like meaningful changes for the future?
Yes, of course. So everyone knows Nestlé. Nestlé is the largest food and beverage company in the world. We have products in all the categories that you can imagine, from water to pet food. And we have been innovating in the past 145 years that since we were created. That's in our DNA. So a few innovations that you may know. The first one is the infant formulas. That's an innovation from Nestlé. The soluble coffee, that's another one. And Nespresso, that's another one. Those are just a few. But what I want you to picture is that innovation runs in the company naturally, organically, but in our core business. So all of you know that the current situation based on the economy, based in the demographics, based in a lot of factors, is not the same than the one that we have even 20 years ago. So everything is changing so fast, and technology is making that or driving that change. So with that in mind, we as innovators have to find new ways to innovate in a faster way than we have already done in the past few years. So with that in mind, we see an opportunity in joining forces with other innovators, and that's where open innovations takes more relevance in the company. We are experts on building food and give you the best food that you will have in the market. But we are not experts in other things. We are not a tech company. We are not a sustainability company. We need to partner with the right actors outside in order to bring these solutions into the company. So open innovation for us is that a catalyzer to innovate in different ways or in different paths or with different things to build capabilities for our organization. So with that in mind, what we did is to create an open innovation arm in Mexico. We have different ones around the world, but in Mexico we created one that it's called All In. And All In started with 3 things. The first one is to understand which capabilities we needed to create. So we have 3. The first one is anything that can help us to be more closer to the consumer or be more consumer-centric. The second one is to accelerate our digitalization. And the third one, and I believe the most challenging one, is sustainability. We have different goals on sustainability, mostly 3. The first one is emissions reduction, then water reduction, and packaging circularity. So with that in mind, first, we created the Open Innovation Arm. Second, we created a budget. It's not a venture capital fund, but we have a very good budget to let the company pay for trials. That is something very different in our companies. You usually hire companies and that's it, but we are paying to try new things. And the third one is to create more faster processes. I will not say that's perfect, of course not, but we will not pay the startups with a period of time of 180 days. We will pay them in a more or less payment days. So with these 3 things, we launched that Open Innovation Arm. But again, talking about sustainability, it's something that we know we have to accelerate because climate is not waiting. So we need to act faster. And Mexico is one of the countries that we have the most challenges around the world in Nestle. This year we have the dries. So we need water. That's something, it's a fact. It's not something that we want to do it for the planet. It's because if we don't do it, we will not have a business in a few years. So sustainability is very important for us. So what we did is to create a specific challenge that it's called Regeneración by All In. All In is our innovation ecosystem, in which we were looking for solutions since that year to tackle these 3 things that I already told you. So to finish, what we're trying to do is to have the right vehicles for the company to build these capabilities, but with open innovation as an accelerator for our company to keep the business growing, but also to bring value to consumers. That is our main purpose as a company. So that's what we're doing, Alex.
Brilliant. So I take the power of understand and identify the strengths that you have as a company, the things that you must need in order to achieve this ultimate goal. And getting back again to Gemma's point, how you can start collaborating. You can do it by many ways. It's amazing, and thank you for sharing the way that Nestle is doing it. And next, I would like to go into one of the most fascinating industries, and by design is the one that ties with all of the other sectors and industries, which is finance and banking. So really curious about, and this goes to Valeria and Grace, to understand climate change, sustainability, but also banking, finance, plus startups. How does it work?
Yes, of course, I can go ahead. Okay, so at HSBC, we are fully committed to supporting climate solutions. In 2020, we pledged to be net zero in our operations by 2030 and in our finance portfolio by 2050. So to achieve this, we've committed $750 billion and between $750 billion and $1 trillion to sustainable financing and investment by 2030. So we are actively supporting and discovering new climate technologies. So for startups, especially in climate tech, we offer support at every stage of their growth. So before Series B, we provide treasury management, payments, foreign exchange solutions, and also connection of startups with family offices and also accelerator programs and large corporations that are part of our portfolio. And from Series B onwards, we also offer venture debt, supply chain financing, advisory services that include M&A, debt and equity capital markets, and IPOs. So we have a global network of more than 60 countries where we operate in, and so that allows us to connect startups to large corporations, and also to foster this partnership that can drive lasting impact. We have also expertise in supply chain, so we also support support the building of strong supply chains and support decarbonization across borders. And well, I encourage you to approach us to explore how HSBC can be a partner for you and how we can support your business. And later on, my colleague Peggy Scherer from HSBC will do a reverse pitch with more details on how HSBC can be a partner for you. And yeah, so that's
Outstanding. Looking forward to hearing that. Great.
Thank you. So centering just the answer on startups and entrepreneurs, as most of the audience here is one. We at Santander, we see it in both ways. I mean, sustainability started in the banking industry many years ago, starting sort of reporting and just measuring KPIs and how our performance was related to the use of natural resources and diversity and inclusion and other topics. But it evolved, and right now, I may not have the same impact as a food company with the use of natural resources, but I have the responsibility to take care of it or just to evolve into a more decarbonized or more green economy if I'm the one financing it. So just starting in the sort of at the big scale of banking and how we are going to collaborate with startup entrepreneurs is my clients have, to some extent, the ability to innovate in their processes and in new solutions to make their a more green or a less damaging processes in their industry that they have. But then we have the responsibility to search for those solutions, climate tech solutions or climate innovation, that it's going to serve my clients so they become so it's easier for them to make that step into a low carbon economy. So we have been in Santander for 20 plus years now, encouraging entrepreneurships and supporting the entrepreneur ecosystem. Right now, as Gemma was talking, this is a challenge. So this year we decided to launch the Santander Sustainability Challenge. 2024 is the first edition, and later my colleague Stephanie is going to talk more to all of you guys about it. And so we believe that we have that responsibility of founding and just finding these new solutions, have them to be close to our clients, present them, and just sort of support them. And this is on the big side, on my portfolio side. And also, the past few months have been really incredible for us because we've been having very long and very sort of new conversations to us in the banking industry with startups and just these brilliant young people that have ideas. And I was telling you before, maybe the startup came to us with a small idea, and we have a whole plan or a market plan aligned to it. I mean, it's more than the actual startup kind of vision, but we have the opportunity to scale that up and just to provide the market that we do have. I mean, they have the idea, the solution, and if they're interested, we can make it work. I mean, we are seeing a lot of a shift in our consumer. I mean, the particular side of banking, not the enterprise banking, but the individual banking. And they do prefer to have more, as our CEO would say, banking as a service. It's just not the way that I use my card or apply for a credit. I want more of my bank. And so this is when sustainability has become a really part of our core business, and it's not just a reporting strategy anymore.
Brilliant. I get the idea that everything must be beyond the usual interactions with your clients, with your companies. Client provider is good, and you can do amazing stuff there. You can innovate on behalf of them. But also, if you set aside that vision and you go into a further vision of the many other stakeholders, for instance, in this case for banking and investing, you take into consideration that you can also accelerate the climate change efforts. You can also enhance collaborations between the companies and startups in such areas. It's truly outstanding. And thank you for that, because that is not just only exclusively for finance and banking, that also can be part of many other, if not all, of economical sectors and industries. So yeah, thank you for sharing that and this outstanding view from the banking side. Then, Hema, to you again. Examples, initiatives that you have seen across your outstanding experience that you want to highlight in regards of successful collaborations, startups, individuals maybe, and companies in order to tackle down climate change, in order to achieve sustainability, in order to make this world a better place.
Oof, we have a lot of examples and we don't have too much time. So I mean, I could talk about different sectors, different technologies, but I'm going to talk about something really simple that has been used both by companies and by individuals, like myself, for example. And as we know, different actors are making commitments around carbon neutrality. So in order to do that, you need to offset your carbon footprint. The issue is always how you do it. You could do it through trying to get carbon credits through the official markets or through the voluntary market. A lot of expectations, and sometimes people think that most of them are not really reliable, especially in the voluntary markets. So we are working with different platforms around carbon offsetting and how we can leverage on some of the innovations that the market is doing around that. And I really would like to talk about a platform called Monbank, which basically work their own on a project around forestation. And basically lo que hacen is, what they do is working with the forestry industry, trying to get carbon credits that are sold through this platform. So basically trying to avoid greenwashing, potential problems. They create their own carbon credit and they have their own platform, which I think is really useful for a lot of clients through different industries, including some individuals. Myself, for example, I use this platform. But beyond that, I'm very impressed by another project in Ecuador called NF3s. I don't know if you know that project, but I think it's quite interesting and really innovative, because basically any individual like us could invest from $20 or $30 through millions if they want, buying NFTs that basically support the growth of some of the trees in Ecuador, and basically it's a platform as well in which the money goes to basically a trust that gives the money to some of the agribusiness, agricultures. I don't know exactly how to tackle that, but basically to the farmers that are preserving the forestry. So anyone can invest in an NFT. You buy $20 and the money goes to avoid deforestation. So it's quite interesting because you could scale that opportunity quite fast, taking into account that you don't need too much money to do that. So it's another way, another successful way to really work on preserving biodiversity in the region, putting in contact investors, even small investors, through big projects in the region. They started with this particular project in Ecuador, but they are scaling up to different countries, especially in the Brazilian Amazonas, and I think it could be rapidly replicated in different countries in the region.
Amazing. I get that the power of scalability makes the difference, basically. Yeah. From a concept, from an idea, from something that you start working from scratch, and you say, okay, I want to take a leap and start working with startups, but then what are the next stages and how you are going to support this effort, the entrepreneurs, the people within your company that is working around that. So great, thanks for sharing. And let's go back again with Valeria and Grace. Could you please tell us more about maybe some examples around the initiatives that you are currently running and planning, maybe?
Sure, go ahead, Valeria. Just focusing on climate change, we have been for a few years now developing policies, not politics, sorry, about that, about environmental, social, and climate change risks. And then they started a few years back just as tackling the risk and how to manage and how to measure it, and just starting to measure finance emissions that this year we are doing. But then, right now, we are at the breaking point from sort of translating those risks into business opportunities. Because it's just a way that I have to do it. It's a risk assessment that I have to do, but then there's a huge business opportunity that I can also tackle from that same analysis. So it's just making more value out of the initial analysis that we as banks have to do. And that sort of came to us just visualizing what our clients and our customers try and want to from their bank. And also, it's in a win-win situation because we can analyze the potential climate risk of a client and then just sort of advise him better or them better, and just to be able to also offer more products or that we have. And then I'm going to start decarbonization in my portfolio also. So it's just a way of accompanying our clients to make the transition into a low carbon economy. That it sounds very easy on the speech, but it's very hard actually in doing it. And also just to get back with what Gemma was saying, the scalability is the issue and also the funding. It's just to be able to find a great solution, and then most of the time they just need the funding to make it happen. So I think that's where we are sort of trying to focusing right now on our climate strategy.
Outstanding.
Thank you. So as I said before, we have this commitment to be net zero by 2050. So we are not only focusing on divesting in carbon intensive emitters sectors, but also in investing in those new solutions and the new economy and all the climate technologies, right, that can help us to transition to a more sustainable economy. So we are doing this work of identifying those startups, those companies that have new solutions that are worthy to support. So we support them, as I said, through all the life cycle of these companies. And also we have some examples of partnerships at the global level that we've done with Catalytic Capital. We have an organization in the UK that we've partnered with the government and also other companies to join Catalytic Capital and also capital from banks, right, to support these new solutions that can support our commitments and the new economy, right? So yes, that's part of what, the initiative we have.
Great, awesome. Now, moving back to money, I would like to ask you about, we have a lot of corporates here, and you guys have done a terrific job in regards of connecting, creating, and supporting initiatives aimed to integrate startups within your own value chain, but also to like the rest of the stakeholders around the food and beverage industry. That being said, I would like to ask you about recommendations or maybe some key objectives, metrics, or initiatives that people must consider once they start or they are willing to expand their own programs.
Of course. It's very basic, what I'm going to say, but I think that it's the most important thing. And I will say a few recommendations for corporates, but also a few for startups. So for corporates, not really, nothing new, the strategy. To understand what you really want to achieve with this. So there are corporations that do this to find business opportunities, some of them to build capabilities, but at the end, each one of them will have different metrics, and you will have different ROIs for the company, depending on which one you are following and which one you are trying to look at. So the first one is that, to understand where you add value in your strategy, and from that, to build on what are the challenges that you want to solve through startups. This is very basic, again, but I see other peers to always failure in their open innovation strategies because of this. So one example is, for example, us. We review, and I'm not lying, at least 2,000 startups per year. Of course, this is not only Latin America, this is my team from Mexico, but we review these kind of startups because we have 12 different business units in Mexico. So it's very broad what we can look in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So again, if you don't do this strategy process, you will maybe find tons of opportunities between these 2,000 startups, but which are the ones that you want to really try and to let the company be able to fail and learn. You cannot do that with 2,000 startups. You only have a few chances on a few, 5, 10 per year, I don't know. It will depend on your corporation. So that's the first one. And with that in mind, another recommendation from my side is to start with very few. Some corporations, I see that they want to build these huge open innovation arms with offices and with challenges and with marketing, but at the end, the organization is going to charge you their ROI at some point, and that will be 2-3 years from where you start. So you have to start with just a few that you can prove value to the company, and then keep growing year after year, but not wanting to put everything in the table at once. So that's the second one. And I believe if you have those two, you can prove value to the company and keep growing for there. And also to have a good relationship with startups, because the third thing will be that if you want to start with everything, you will fail in one of two of the relations that you're building with startups. So that's from the corporate side. And from the startup side, I will say 3 recommendations. The first one is understanding what your company status is today. What are your current challenges? So your challenge is developing the product. Do you need funding? Or is it, I need a corporate partner to validate the solution? I'm sorry. Or is it, I want to scale? So these are 3 very different challenges, and you will need very different partners to do that. So the first one is understanding where's your company current challenge, and from that, go and try to find the right partner. The second tip is, once you think that you find the right partner, is before coming to them, try to understand what are the current challenges from them, not from you. So is this person looking for solutions right now? Does this person have the actual power in the company to try it? What are the things that this person is going to want from me once I reach to them? So that's the second thing, because with that, you're going to look for the opportunity and to present a proposal. And the third one, and I believe also one of the most important, is if you're looking for corporates, not for venture capital funds or for accelerators, for corporates, the pitch is going to be so different, because corporates don't want to try, they want a solution. So if you're going to a corporate that doesn't have an open innovation arm, or that they have it but it's the first year, they're going to try you as a vendor with different conditions, less bureaucratic processes, but at the end, what corporations want is to bring solutions that they can try, that they can hire, and that they can scale. So if you're ready to do that, that will be the third recommendation, to come with a proposal and not with a pitch. The pitch is for the venture capitalists, is for the accelerators. That's the dream for your company, but that's with a very different type of partnership than with a corporate. So I believe if, of course, there are very blurred lines between this, and it's not a grid and stone, everything can change. But if you follow this, I believe, few very basic recommendations, it can give you a good start on how to work with different corporations and startups.
Amazing.
Can
Now, final
can I
remarks.
add something
Please, could you
with-
continue? Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
I
adding
totally-
on that.
yes.
Yes, please.
I
go.
totally agree. It's just I don't want to lose the momentum. I totally agree with what Moni just said, and just two extra advice for startups, as Moni just mentioned, the way that corporates work. That's totally true. It's just that they're to knock on the door, but be ready to answer the big question. And the big question is, are you at this moment able to manage to provide me the service? If it does, great. I have 1 million customers ready to use it right now. And if not, I mean, it's sort of a different pitch. But that is very true. I mean, maybe the idea is the brightest, but then we do not have the sort of the budget or the amount of time to be just growing the business with you. We want a quick solution. So if you want to do it and that's the way you want to pitch it, just be ready to answer that big question.
And also, I just wanted to add that corporate startup partnerships can be very valuable because corporations can help startups to navigate complex regulations and also provide access to financing and also connect them right to networks to boost their visibility, because sometimes that's the challenge that startups have, visibility and connections. And also, well, in return, startups can bring fresh ideas and innovative solutions to corporations, right? So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, ma'am.
Nothing to add.
Great. So I take this perspective of treating the corporates as partners, because they are your growth partners. So you need to consider the things that they need. You need to do your job. You need to understand quite well, not just only selling a dream, but selling an actual plan that you can work and run all together. That's essential. So listen, entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, that's essential. And for corporates, be ready to create, design, and implement those plans, right? Awesome. Just to close on that, and thank you. Amazing. I mean, has been beyond expectations of what I think it will be getting this extensive knowledge from you. Do you remember that I told you I'm very into science fiction? One of the main reasons is that it's the perfect way to envision a future. In my case, a better future. For me, the perfect future will be startups, corporates working all together with the same goals, with the same alignment, sharing resources towards climate change and sustainability. So thank you, because this is the first step, sharing these kind of perspectives, experiences, but also encourage you to start working on that, because it's an urgent matter. It's not something that it's a desire for humanity. It's something that we must address, and we need to do it right now, if not yesterday. So yeah, thank you so much. Terrific initiatives, efforts, and perspectives for all the audience. And yeah, give a round of applause to the amazing panelists.
Thank you.
Now, to make this more interactive, we have a couple of minutes to get some questions from the audience. So who wants to start? Yes, 1, 2, and 3, 4. There you go. You have microphone there? If not, I can. Oh, yeah.
Hi, Lorena Estrada. I wanted to ask a question particularly to Gema, but if anybody else wants to answer, it's perfect. It's about in the work frame of sustainable development goals, what are the KPIs, or how do you monitor and evaluate the impact that startups and great corporations have in climate change? Thank you.
Wow.
Tough one.
Thank you very much. You have different tools to evaluate impact. Some of them are sectorial related, and Others are more related to the final beneficiary of the information. I really love IRIS. I don't know if you follow the GIN, which basically is the industry body that, the worldwide industry body that works on impact investing. So from the investment point of view, but also taking into account that they have different KPIs for different sectors, I really encourage our clients to follow the IRIS framework. Thank you.
Great. Two?
So good morning, my name is Teresa de Leon, and I'm the country manager for Gridex. It's a VC, a company builder. And in our fund, we really believe that the CVC, the corporate venture capital, has to get involved if we really want to try to accomplish climate change. Because climate change is about changing the production matrix, and the corporates are the ones that right now domain the the production matrix. So I didn't hear it, and maybe you do it, but I didn't hear it, and I would like to have your opinion of, instead of having the corporates directly addressing the startups, what if you have a strong or develop a strong alliance with the VCs, with all the accelerators, the incubators, with the VC funds, whatever round they fund, in order to work with the pipeline we are generating? My belief is that that will accelerate the innovation, it will accelerate the change in the production matrix, and it will save time, to scale that up. So I would like to hear your opinion. Thank you. So maybe I can start. Yes, of course, we definitely believe the same. So in Nestle, what we have is an open innovation arm that it's called All In. All In has 3 different key capabilities that we want to build: sustainability, digital acceleration, and consumer centricity. But to do that, we know that it's not, we're not going to be that fast as if we do it by ourselves. So we call All In an innovation ecosystem, because what you said is what we believe. We need to have partners to find the best opportunities in a more accelerated way. So All In has at least 50 partners: venture capital funds, other accelerators, incubators, other corporations. So with that in mind, what we do is to share practices, to share cases, but also to ask for help. I need a solution in this topic. What do you have? So All In, it's what it's based on. And to do even faster, we created an open innovation call that it's called Regeneración by All In, in which we, with these partners, go and tell everyone, Nestle has this open call that it's not an acceleration open call, it's an open call to have Nestle as a client. So if you come, I will open my infrastructure, I will let you try it, and if it works, we are going to scale it with you. So that's the first thing. And the second one is that from this network of partners, we have different relationships. So we have like these friends, and that's it. We have venture capital funds in which we are as LPs, we invested in them. For example, in Latin America, we have investment in a venture capital fund that it's called the JITLAF, that it's an AgTech fund. But we also have an investment in a food tech fund that it's called Angel Ventures, and we will keep growing that network. But we also have partners like Endeavor that help us to build community, or Mass Challenge in Switzerland, of these type of partners that are working with startups since the beginning. So yes, agree. I believe, as you mentioned, this is something that corporations cannot do by themselves. We need help to do it and to accelerate the efforts.
And to add, Teresa, that's how we at HSBC we're trying to identify those climate tech companies through VC capital funds. And also, I think we can join efforts with those funds to complement, right, their offering and their services. So that's the case, right, with Dalus Capital is an example. So that's how we are trying to map all those startups that are involved in the new economy, and we're willing to support.
Great. So we ran out of time. For the remaining questions, please reach the panelists while coffee break or the next sessions. And thank you all again. Let's continue with this amazing agenda.
Thank you.